As the 6th month of the year progresses and South Africa continues to celebrate its youth, we thought it would be appropriate to celebrate an art form that in a nutshell belongs to the youth. Graffiti. Welcome to the Art Bulletin and thank you very much for staying with Morning Live. South African stage favorite and world-acclaimed production Umoja is set to embark on a 2-month-long US of A tour. We caught up with co-creator Todd Twala this week and here's what she had to say ahead of the team's departure for the tour.
It's been my dream. It's been my dream going to America because as a dancer myself in the 80s, I made it big, very, very big in America as a dancer with Ipin Tombi. So now I'm going back with my production to show the Americans my production. We've been exhibiting South African talent all over the world for the past few years, and we've been going through challenges, you know. There's so many challenges in this business, so we've been going through rough patches, and of course, you know, we have our ups and downs, but so far we managed to reach the 13th year. We are still on our 13th year, we're running, the show is still going strong.
Mpumalanga will experience the best in community theatre from tomorrow until Saturday the 29th of June. Sancta's 33rd annual One Act Festival will follow straight after that. These events will be held just like in the past 3 years at the Johannes Stegman Theatre in Secunda.
The festivals will be held as in the last 3 years at the Johannes Stegman Theatre in Secunda. The best 3 plays chosen from the Cecil Community Theatre Festival will have automatic entry into the main festival. The 33rd Sancta Festival is a national festival and accepted 9 entries from Mpumalanga overall and 6 from Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, Northwest and Cape Town. Once the 15 plays are chosen, 2 mentoring courses are given by the highly esteemed actress, teacher and director Dorothy Ann Gold, her husband and other professional mentors in all provinces.
Have you always wanted to exhibit your work at the Bag Factory in Newtown, Johannesburg? Here's some useful info for you. The Visual Arts Hub is calling for applications for its 2-month-long artist in residency program.
The residency lasts for 3 months. The artists come and have to produce new work, at the end of which it's shown in an exhibition similar to this one. They have to submit an application and that is assessed by our application selection committee. It's really about them having a high quality of work. They need to be professional artists, in other words they need to practice regularly. They need to be available to come to South Africa for that period. And then I suppose it's about the values that the Bag Factory has about networking and participation. They're expected to do an outreach workshop while they're here in an attempt to trade some of those skills with our locals.
Nominations for the Arts and Culture Trust Impact Awards for Young Professionals are now open. The award celebrates excellence in South Africa's arts, culture and creativity.
The people who are eligible to enter, who are eligible for nomination are young artists working within the first 5 years of their professional careers. So that doesn't include, you know, whatever you've been doing during school. So it's basically the first 5 years of work, of stuff that you've been commissioned to do, that stuff that you've been paid to do. People can nominate themselves. It has to be South African. And it's just basically to recognize those young artists particularly, and preferably people who have also made an impact. So not only somebody who's been building their career, but somebody who's been teaching in their community. Those are usually the people who stand out in the Impact Awards.
Still moving around the city of Jozi, showcasing some of the best graffiti walls that highlight the city. Now moving along, the Wits University Theatre will present a 5-lecture series by internationally acclaimed South African artist William Kentridge. The lecture series was first presented as 6 drawing lessons at Harvard University in 2012.
His work is really informed by very deep political and philosophical ideas, but he's also able to bring those into a very interesting and provocative material art practice. And there's something about the relationship between the way that he thinks and the way in which his work materializes that makes a lecture series, I think, really, really interesting, because he's both talking about big ideas as well as showing how those ideas get materialized in his art practice on stage.
Disney on Ice has made its way back to South Africa after its last visit in 2012. The show will kick off at the Coca-Cola Dome in Johannesburg and then move to Cape Town's International Convention Centre.
your main favorite Disney characters going on a vacation. So they go through all different stories, and we go through The Lion King, and we go through The Little Mermaid, when we have special effects with that, with bubbles and different things to make look like you're underwater. And we go into the story of Lilo and Stitch. And the second half of our show is Peter Pan.
I think people of all ages and of all genders will enjoy this show just as much as anybody else. We have great big numbers like Under the Sea and Little Mermaid. Everybody knows the Under the Sea, the tune and the lyrics, so they can sing along. For the boys, we have Peter Pan, which for me, Peter Pan was my childhood movie, so it was cool to see him in person. But then, of course, everybody knows the Fabs, the Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy and Goofy. And they come out many, many times and so the kids just light up when they see them, literally.
This afternoon, one of our most respected singers will sit in for a public conversation just to let her fans, followers and music enthusiasts into her life and work. Dr. Sibongile Khumalo will be in conversation with Dr. Nokuthula Msimang. In Conversation with Dr. Sibongile Khumalo is hosted by publicity company JT Communications and will be held at their African Media Resources Center of Excellence in Craighall Park. Facilitating the conversation with the Soweto-born singer is Dr. Nokuthula Msimang of the SABC. Officials say the dialogue is part of the JT Com's Media Center series of conversations, with this being the first project of its kind, pioneering a space and conversation around Dr. Sibongile Khumalo's journey in the circles of healing processes and a journey of introspection on values, citizen participation and more. Doors open at 1:30 for 2 o'clock. Susan Wolf has been documenting the hand signs that commuters use to access minibus taxis in Gauteng for the past 9 years. Since then, she's made a short film, books, public sculptures, a stamp series and artworks that are currently on display at the Wits Art Museum.
The exhibition tries to bring together the idea of signification and communication. The first part of my investigation was just finding the destinations. It was only when I started anthropology and looking at literature and trying to find out where taxi hand signs fit into the category of gesture that I really started understanding that there were narratives behind these signs.
We hope you've enjoyed all the highlights, the colors and the beauty that is the graffiti on the streets of Johannesburg. Do remember to keep in touch with us and let us know what's happening in and around your art circles. Our email address is morninglive@sabc.co.za. For more artistic interactions, please like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Until next weekend, it's a goodbye from us.